Hi, ladies and gentlemen. So today I have Zoe with me. Zoe is a busy mother, wife, and business owner who has been quite busy during the lockdown period. I've just managed to nail her down for this interview today, earlier than schedule, just to make sure that we can actually have a chat. So first things first, Zoe, how are you today?
I'm not bad. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm happy because the sun's come out. For those of you that are
Yeah.
listening in the future, it's actually quite a nice day. So we are coming towards the close of week 6 of lockdown. Tell our listeners and our viewers what it is you actually do.
So we own a cleaning company that's domestic, commercial, crime and trauma scene cleaning.
Yeah, okay, cool. And how's things going at the moment?
It's a bit rocky. At first it was a bit of a crash. So the domestic side had to be shut down. We've made new provisions now. So we've got all the right PPE and supplies in place, ready to see the light at the end of the tunnel for that one. Commercial's not so bad. A lot of places that we clean for commercial is essential work, so we're helping them out by keeping them going. We've just put a contingency plan in for businesses and sent that out this week to make sure that if they're going to start going back to work, that they're confident and have the right contingency plan for each of the businesses. So if someone has shown symptoms, what are they going to do? We can go in and we can use special chemicals, and we've got correct PPE to go in, clean it and get you back up and running within 24 hours. So that's quite good. So we've sent that out today. And crime and trauma scene cleaning, unfortunately, there's always an ask for that. So
Yeah, I can imagine
it's not
that
been
must
too
be.
bad.
What is, I mean, because the news at the moment, and for anyone that isn't living through this right now and is listening in the future, because it is all about the lockdown, they're not really touching on what crime's like at the moment. And, you know, I have no idea what the local crime rate's like, because even our local papers, our local news is all about Covid-19. It's all about the coronavirus. So, I mean, what kind of crime levels do you see? What are you having to clear up right now?
There's, when I say crime, so if someone's been attacked or because of COVID-19, if someone's spitting at a police officer or something like that, or in a vehicle, then we'll be called out to clean that, to sanitise and decontaminate. Obviously, if someone's died in the property, being COVID-19 at this point, or any other time actually, if someone's not been cared for by family or by carers, if they've just been left to their own devices, and obviously if they've passed away, that we'll go in after the coroners and help the families to make things a little bit easier and better.
Wow.
So there's other, and if you're living in a house and you've had somebody that showed symptoms and they've chose to self-isolate, you might want us to come in and decontaminate and sanitise your home for you, which is easy done as well.
Wow, you know, there's so much that I haven't even, like, I can't even get into my head, because you don't even think about it until it happens, do you? We're lucky, no one in our household has had any symptoms or anything, and I've been away from, we've been in lockdown since the moment we closed our facility, which was about the 22nd, 21st of March. So yeah, I mean, that is quite a lot to get into your head. What kind of things are you getting called out to the most?
I think universities, to start with, it's gone quite quiet because everybody's been in shutdown. So I'm hoping our next uptake will be businesses starting up again and looking for deep cleans and needing to go back and just be confident that it's a good environment to be in. I think a lot of businesses shut down and literally locked the door and went home, which is extremely understandable. You know, I get it, but if there's, you know, the mental health issues going on at the moment, I just hope that my kids come out of it still sane and feeling loved and well looked after, and I hope that for everybody really. And the NHS staff, for example, the ones that have had to self-isolate away from family, I can't imagine, I cannot imagine what that's like. But for them to go home, if we can assist in any way, or for people to start going back to work to get the economy going, if we can help in any way, advice or us physically going and cleaning things and sanitising, then we're totally up for that.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anything that you're putting out online for advice at the moment, or is it something you're going to be looking to do in the future?
We can do. If you go to our website, there's lots of information on there. We've actually got that's been updated. It's got a COVID-19 so situations, but anyone's free to email us. Any questions, phone me. I can always give a sympathetic ear. We've put an email out to a lot of our clients, well, all of our clients, that it's not just about cleaning. We actually enjoy going to see them every week for domestic clients, or monthly, or however frequently we go. So not seeing those lovely faces is quite tough.
Yeah.
We have an elderly client base that we do shopping, prescription drop-offs. We're still continuing to do that, obviously at a distance. But if they just need that extra company or questions or reassurance, then we're here for that as well.
That's lovely, and that's you know that's again, you know, right now, before we pressed the record button, we were talking about things that business owners do because they're more innovative when it comes to their personal clients. If you're a large brand like, you know, some of the big players in my field, you'll notice that they're not really doing anything, and that's because they don't rely on a personal touch. The reason that a lot of people will go to bigger companies is because they actually don't want a personal touch. But the majority of people really do want that. And the fact that you're providing that service still, you're still giving reassurance to your clientele, you know, that's stuff like that puts people's minds at ease. We're funny creatures, humans, and we don't like too much change. Even people that say they like change don't like everything to change. And something as simple as knowing that your cleaning company is still in contact with you and giving you advice and giving you reassurance that they're still going to be available, you know, that's going to help people's mental health, I think, probably a lot more than people actually realise, which is fantastic. And I'll take my hat off to you for that. So let's have a little chat about your home life. Like we say, you know, you're out of the house, you're doing stuff, and you could probably be in whatever PPE and stuff. Is there kind of a procedure you have from going from even from your van into a new facility and then back out again? Is there something you have to do with your clothing? How does that look? Or even coming home?
Yeah, so when originally what we had to do is we've got a big van, so we'd get changed in the back of that and park as close to whatever premises that needed us to use hazmats and full PPE like that, and be very discreet. Actually, as the months gone on, there's not much need. People don't bat an eyelid anymore. It's almost like a normal thing to see, which is a shame. But so we'll arrive at a job and then we kit up before going anywhere near premises. Depends what the job is as well, but to stay safe, should I say, we'll kit up before entering the premises. And then when we leave, we decontaminate before we get back in the van. Everything we wear has to be incinerated. All the waste that we've made, so cloths that we've used, will also get incinerated. And when we come home, the kids know well enough no one touches me or hugs, or I come straight in and we've had a downstairs shower built and I go straight in there and hot showers, all the clothes get boiled.
Wow.
And that's pretty much
it's like that scene from E.T., you know?
Yeah. Pretty much, actually, without the tubing.
without all the ducting and stuff. But
I
mean, it is unrecognisable to 3 months ago, to 2019. It is, as you were talking there, I actually sat and just thought that how mind-blowing what we're talking about is. And if we were to just show this clip to someone in 2019, that this is the future, this is going to happen, it's unbelievable. It's so unbelievable.
I wouldn't have even. I know that there was, in the cleaning industry, there's always been this doubt of how would we all manage in a pandemic like this, which is why Maria and I, one of the reasons among many, we've got kitted out, so you've got to have special equipment as well. So it's not just going in with a sprayer.
No.
You have to go in with fogging machines, quat strips. There's all kinds of machines to test to see how dirty something is, and then you clean it and then you test it again to make sure that it is clean. And there's loads of kit that you've got to take with you, and make sure that whoever the clients are, that they're safe as well. So quite often we've gone to a job and they're like, oh no, yeah, no, here, and you're standing in the area before they've told you. So I think once that happened, it won't happen again.
Yeah.
We just kind of, yeah, so you'll be surprised. We was in a property recently, and this poor families were 6 families in one house. It's
Wow.
it's unreal. And there's us in hazmats, and they're just talking to us, so it's quite surreal.
Yeah.
And you're kind of explaining different things. So a lot of it is public still not knowing, still not understanding, still not believing what's been talked about, and trying to educate people really is quite difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine. Talk about some of the kits. So you mentioned a fog machine.
Yeah, so instead of me hand spraying everything, if I wanted to do my whole entire room, or a room that needs sanitising, you set the machine off and it throws out tiny particles into the air, and it spreads on everything. So everything, you can do massive areas.
It's like mist, like a big mist machine.
That's right.
And does it actually fog up the air? Does it actually discolour the air, or is it just does it land quite quickly?
It lands quite quickly, and we have it's almost like a litmus paper, so it's a quat strip, so you put them around the room to make sure that it's dispersed correctly around the room.
Wow, that's so innovative. That's so clever. And I suppose we have seen stuff in the media where Asia have been doing that en masse, haven't they? They've had big, huge sprayers.
You'll see them almost, and they'll do massive areas with it.
Yeah, which I think probably is the next step for us over here. If we're not going to, if we have any more rises in the numbers, I think. Okay, so let's move back to you and your household then. So give us a little bit of an insight about what that looks like. So kids, your husband, stuff like that. What kind of things are they up to at the moment?
Well, my son, bless him, everything's been cancelled. He's 15, so he was just about to sit his GCSEs.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say both my kids, I'm very lucky, are older, and they're both managing really well. We're very blessed with what we have. We have a garden and beautiful countryside. So yeah, I'm under no illusion that we are very, very lucky. However, my son struggles a lot socially. He really is a really social creature, and the fact that he can't see his friends, most days he gets it, but 1 out of 10 he comes down with the raging ump and just wants to go and meet his mates. And it's really difficult, I think, to the families that this probably happened to. I cannot imagine, and I think I did tell him the other day that there are families sending family members off in ambulances and not knowing if they're going to come home. And as brutal as that is, I think he hasn't had the ump since. I told him that. I said I'm not going to be one of those parents, but it is really hard, and I really feel for him. So we've taken to building stuff. He's taking apart the lawnmower at the moment to make some sort of car engine, so I don't know how that's going to work out. I've just had very long grass.
That's pretty, a lot of long grass. That's great, though.
But go for it. And my daughter, she's halfway through her A-levels, so I don't even see her. She's quite self-motivated, does a lot of work. Either that, or she's just watching YouTube. I don't know who I was. My husband, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to flip that coin, is a key worker for a telecommunications company. So he's actually at work at the moment. So yeah, I'll wait for him to come home. We can celebrate fun Friday.
yeah. Actually have a bit of time off, hopefully, for you guys. And I mean, is there anything that you're noticing more now? Well, I suppose you're not home as much as as much as the rest of us. But is there anything that you're noticing or doing as a family more now you are locked in?
As a family, we spend a lot more time. I think I feel like I've got to know my kids a lot more, actually. It's nice. We can have a conversation and a bit of banter. So it's quite nice. What I've noticed mostly is that I'm not going anywhere, so I'm not actually spending any money.
Yeah.
It's a win, I guess. There's always a silver lining. And I've noticed loads of DIY stuff that needs doing around the house.
Yeah, you know what? Because I've launched this podcast, and I've been doing a lot more work online when it comes to our members and making sure that they're okay, as well as some other things that I've got in the backburner. I'm actually looking around, looking at jobs I promised myself I would start during lockdown, which was 6 weeks ago. And where I've been so busy, I've been doing some days 4 interviews a day to try and gather as much information as possible, as well as doing all the classes that we're doing online with the gym. I'm still looking at the same jobs thinking, you promised yourself you're going to do those. And realistically, at the moment, I'm doing 14-hour days with this. And it's, it's quite hard to kind of fit those in. So I actually said to my wife today, make a list and make sure I do them this weekend, because I have no involvement with the gym over the weekend, you see. So I've got a big segment of time, and, make sure I do it, because if not, I'm going to kick myself when we go back to work and I haven't done anything. I really will. So, I mean, as you say, like, your daughter's fairly motivated what she's doing. You sound like a pretty motivated bunch, to be honest. I love the fact that your son's now taking stuff apart and trying to build engines out of it and stuff. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, he built me a bar out the front there the other day.
Yeah?
It's pretty awesome.
I can imagine. What was that made out
of? Pallets. I think his dad got him a load of pallets, and then he made me a bar. So I was like, brilliant.
Lovely.
It's all good. And it's Friday and the sun's out, so maybe I could be out there again.
I think it's probable. I think I'll be joining you in spirit later as well. There's one thing I will find I have been doing a little bit more of than usual is sinking a few of an evening.
I think that's him.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I never midweek drink ever. Not even one. And now the moment COVID-19, kicked in, I've been having a couple of pints every evening. So I've got to stop that when I go back to work. I know that much.
Yeah, I think the lesson we've learned is, well, 2, I've learned quite a few lessons. Is 1, don't worry about it. Just be happy.
Yeah.
And secondly, don't try and do your own hair, because this is what happens. I'm never going to be a hairdresser.
If I was to bulk mine out right now, you'd be horrified. I think it'll probably cover my sign behind me. For those of you listening, I'd have like a Jackson 5 afro. Which would be, no one wants to see that. So talk to me about, your husband's a key worker. What is that? How's his industry at the moment? How are the people that he works with? Good spirits, or?
Yeah, no, I think they are. I think it's quite difficult because they're quite a social bunch, and they now have to stick to their own space. But he's the guy that goes and does works underground, does broadband, stuff like that, which I think at this point in time, without broadband, I think, there might be a worldwide Wi-Fi crisis. I don't know.
World war, that would be awful.
Maybe. So, thanks to him, we can have Wi-Fi still. It's just not too bad.
Yeah. And I find that, without the internet right now, I think everyone would be going absolutely crazy. From Netflix to blogging to work online is so important right now. And what kind of advice, moving back to your profession, what kind of advice would you be giving people, or little things that they can do right now, which is going to make sure that, they are doing the right stuff when it comes to combating this coming into your house?
It pretty much, it's so easy. If you're out, wear gloves where you can. If you've got a mask, brilliant. If you haven't got a mask or can't get one, then just use a scarf or something. I mean, it's not going to prevent it, but anything is better than nothing, is what I told my mum the other day.
Yeah.
But you just wash your hands. If you've been out or you've received a parcel, wash your hands. You can always go and spray the parcel, whatever makes you feel comfortable. But just wash your hands, don't touch your face. And that's pretty much how you're going to combat it, bringing it home. As soon as you come in, wash your hands.
I was in. I went to Royal Mail the other day to go and pick up some post. Now I've still got people going into. So I've still got my team, members of my team going into my facility to carry on with maintenance work, painting and stuff like that. And it's the same 3 people that go in, and they go a day apart. And then I go in when I go in. So we never meet each other. We always wipe down after ourselves, and we only go to one section of the gym each, because that's what we do. You know, I go to the office, one of them goes to the studio, one of them goes to the does all the maintenance in the main body of the gym. And we got it pretty, you know, worked out, and we make sure it's clean and wiped down and stuff. I went to the post office the other day. There was a big queue outside because all of our post had been stopped by, I can only think the council has stopped the post going to gyms because they assume they're all shut. And as I went in there, I wasn't, you know, we was all 2 meters apart. I went in, and first things first, there's no way for you not to be able to do what you need to do and not touch the counter. You have to touch the counter because you have to, you know, you have to hold stuff up and put it on the window, which is now my passport's touched the window. And how many people's passports have touched that window? You know, the post then gets slid across underneath the thing, and a hatch comes down. You then pick that up. So I've now touched all this surface. I've touched the window, and there's no way for me to wipe anything. There's no way for me to clean my hands, and I've got to go and get back into my truck. And I'm sitting there thinking, luckily I carry an alcohol spray with me in the truck. But I have to get in the truck. And I sat there and thought, this is crazy. There's a big queue of people that have walked here. There's not even a spray where I could just clean it myself. And I thought, this is where problems happen. This is where it happens. These are the public going to pick up their post because it's been stopped to certain areas, and there were all business owners there collecting their parcels that had gone to they were meant to go to their business, and there was no way to clean anything down. And I thought, this is crazy. So yeah, I think what you're saying there, if I'd had a mask, if I'd had gloves on at the time, it wouldn't have been a problem. But how do you combat that?
A really good tip, which is what Maria and I, and I'm assuming my team does as well, I hope, is to double gloves. So if I've got 2 pairs of gloves on, I'll go and do my shopping, and then when I go to pay, obviously my gloves are dirty, so I'll take the top ones off, pay, and then I'm still protected.
It's that simple, isn't it?
It's that simple. And then when I go to the car, I obviously sanitise the gloves, take the shopping out, take the trolley back, take the gloves off, throw them away, and then sanitise my car keys, and off I go. Double gloves.
Double gloves.
Top tip.
That is so simple. You know what? It's been going through my head, that little visit to the post office where they didn't care. They didn't care because they're behind their glass. You know, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But they did not care. You know, one of them just wedged the door open because I thought, you know, I'll get ahead of the curve here. It opens at 7. I'll get there at 10 to 7, and I'll be the only person there. Lo and behold, there was a queue up the road, which was fine. You know, I edited a bit of the podcast whilst in the queue, actually, on my phone. So, you know, made use of the time. I was just horrified that it hadn't been cleaned for a while. You know, there was stuff stuck to it. I think there was a bit of chewing gum stuck in the corner, and I thought, wow, this is Royal Mail's head office here in Southend, and this is outright. This is terrible. I couldn't believe it, but hey ho, it's one of those things, I suppose.
Sounds like I should go and clean it.
I definitely think you should. So look, I could have probably chewed your ear off for the rest of the day, to be honest, Zoe, and it has been fantastic talking to you. We're going to start moving into a bit of a close now. I've already had an amazing pearl of wisdom, double glove, which I love. That wasn't meant to rhyme. What piece of advice, you know, could you give to yourself right at the beginning of this? So say if you went back to mid-March, when this would start getting talked about, you knew lockdown was coming, what little bit of advice would you give yourself knowing that this was coming and knowing what you know now?
Do you know what? I don't think, I mean, as a business, we were quite prepared anyway, because we're prepared for that kind of dealing with. I really, the one thing I probably would have tried to sort out the team more. Just I'm really concerned for them, you know, having them. We're all self-employed.
Yeah.
I'm not claiming anything, nor is my business partner, purely because we're so lucky, we're so blessed. I mean, I've got a roof, I've got gardens, and no need. But the team, they're important to us, and we're helping them out where we can. But I wish if I could go back in time, I would try to do more for them.
That's great. That's great.
I'm not sure what.
Yeah.
I just do something different. Maybe I could have set up different things for them so they could continue to work. I'm not sure. It's difficult because we've got half the team are trained in certain areas of what we do, and half the team are trained for other things. So I'm not sure. That's a really hard question. I've used this time really well, so we've done all the admin that we need to do. We've caught up on lots of bits like that.
Yeah.
And
oh, I've just lost you there. Oh, I've got you back. I lost you for a bit of that, Zoe.
no, I'm so sorry. I'm actually being called on a job.
That's fine. That's fine. You were just saying that you've been, you know, you wish you'd done a little bit more for the team, and then you moved over to the fact that, you know, you've done a lot.
We're ready. We're ready to go back.
Ready. Yeah,
the team's ready.
Well,
we're chomping at the bit.
Royal Mail needs you more than anything right now. Royal Mail needs you more than anything. I can tell you that now. Just in their front reception area. So Zoe, I'm going to round that up for us. You know, I've had a great insight. I'd love to see a fog machine, by the way. And I don't know if that's a weird request, but I like the sound of them. I think I might wear one. I might skip around the house wearing one. You know, I love the fact that the family is turning to some new ideas, like taking apart your lawnmower, and I'm glad that, you know, there's still an element of motivation when it comes to your daughter doing her A-levels and stuff, and I wish her all the best for those, as well as I wish everyone doing your A-levels right now. I hope you guys do okay. And thank you again for you and your husband for continuing doing what you're doing. I would be going insane without the internet right now. So thank you so much to him, and you're doing an amazing thing by giving advice to people when it comes to cleaning their own home and making sure that they're safe, and B, still going out into the community and doing what you're doing. Now, guys, I will be putting all of Zoe's links in the show notes of this podcast and the video on YouTube. So you can get in contact with Zoe. You can also go onto her website to see some of the bits of advice that she's been giving out, which is so good and so needed right now. Please do take some notice of what's been said during this interview. Start double gloving. I know I will. And, you know, start doing a lot more for your own health if you can. Start wearing a mask, you know, limit the amount of contact you're having with anywhere that you don't know who's been there before you, and just try and stay as safe as possible. Guys, if you have enjoyed this interview, please do press that share button. Sharing us on social media will allow other people to experience what you've experienced during this podcast and this interview. And more importantly, if you have enjoyed it, send us a cheeky comment. Try and keep it clean, and please be kind, because I think that's the most needed thing at the moment, is just being kind. And if you'd like to get in contact with me to help me on my mission to interview over 100 people during the COVID-19 lockdown, just press a message button on our website or our Facebook page, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. But for now, thanks again, Zoe, and we'll be seeing you soon.
Thank you.